Greetings, I am Enigmadness, your narrator on this dark odyssey through the most enigmatic stories. Join me as we dive into the hidden chronicles behind the top 10 unsolved mysteries in rural areas, where the boundaries of the known blur into the unknown. 1. The disappearance of the Flann Isles lighthouse keepers. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers stationed on the remote Flann Isles off the coast of Scotland mysteriously disappeared. When a relief ship arrived, the lighthouse was found abandoned with no sign of the men. Their coats were missing, indicating they had ventured outside, but the conditions were calm, and nothing seemed out of place. The eerie sight of a deserted lighthouse, with meals uneaten and clocks stopped, left the rescuers unnerved. The lighthouse logbook revealed that the keepers had recorded powerful storms, yet weather reports showed no storms in the area during that time. The last entry was cryptic, stating that, "The storm has passed, the skies are calm, God is over all." Theories ranged from the men being swept away by rogue waves to them abandoning their posts for reasons unknown. Some even speculated supernatural causes or that they had been taken by otherworldly forces. Despite numerous investigations, the mystery of what happened to the Flann Isles lighthouse keepers remains unsolved. No bodies were ever recovered, and the only clues are the ominous and incomplete logbook entries. The case has become a chilling tale of maritime mystery, haunting sailors and historians alike, as the cold waves continue to lap against the isolated shores of the Flann Isles. 2. The vanishing village of Anjikuni. In November 1930, Canadian fur trapper Joe LaBelle stumbled upon the Inuit village of Anjikuni in the frozen wilderness of northern Canada. To his shock, the village, which usually housed around 2,000 residents, was completely deserted. LaBelle found food still cooking on stoves, sled dogs buried in the snow, and personal belongings left behind as if the villagers had vanished in the blink of an eye. LaBelle alerted the authorities, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police conducted an extensive investigation. The most chilling discovery was in the village's graveyard. Several graves had been opened, and the bodies were missing. There were no signs of struggle or foul play, and no traces of where the villagers could have gone. The bizarre nature of the scene led to wild theories, including mass alien abduction or some unknown catastrophe. Despite exhaustive efforts, no one was ever able to explain what happened to the people of Anjikuni. The story has since become legendary in Canadian folklore, with some dismissing it as an exaggeration or hoax, while others insist that something truly unexplainable occurred. The mystery of the vanishing village remains one of the most puzzling and eerie tales in the history of rural Canada. 3. The blood-drinking Chupacabra. First reported in 1995, the Chupacabra is a creature said to prey on livestock, draining them of blood and leaving behind lifeless bodies. The phenomenon started in rural Puerto Rico, where farmers found their goats, chickens, and other animals with strange puncture wounds and no blood in their bodies. The panic spread quickly, and soon the creature became infamous throughout Latin America. Descriptions of the Chupacabra vary, but it is typically depicted as a reptilian beast with spikes along its back and glowing red eyes. Some witnesses have described it as a hairless, dog-like creature, while others claim it stands on 2 legs like a small humanoid. Despite numerous reports and alleged sightings, no physical evidence has ever been produced, leaving scientists skeptical of its existence. Even so, the legend of the Chupacabra persists. Sightings have been reported as far away as the southern United States, and it has become a symbol of fear in rural communities. Whether the Chupacabra is a cryptid, a government experiment gone wrong, or simply a case of mass hysteria, the mystery remains unresolved, and livestock continue to be found dead under strange circumstances. 4. The skeleton lake of Rudrakund. High in the Himalayas at an altitude of over 16,000 feet lies Rudrakund Lake, a small glacial lake with an unsettling secret. Hundreds of human skeletons rest beneath its crystal clear waters. The bones were first discovered during World War II by a British forest ranger who initially feared they were the remains of Japanese soldiers. However, subsequent analysis revealed that the bones dated back much further, over 1,000 years. What puzzled researchers was the variety of skeletons found at the site. They belonged to two distinct groups, one shorter and local to the region, and the other taller, with signs of coming from more distant parts of the world. Even more mysterious were the injuries found on the skeletons. Many appeared to have died from blows to the head, possibly caused by large hailstones. This led to the theory that the victims were caught in a freak hailstorm. Despite extensive research, questions still remain. Why were these people in such a remote and treacherous area of the Himalayas? Were they on a pilgrimage, or were they fleeing from something? The true story of what happened at Rudrakund Lake remains elusive, and every year as the ice melts, more bones emerge, adding to the enigma of the skeleton lake. 5. The legend of the Bell Witch. In the early 1800s, the Bell family of Adams, Tennessee, became the victims of one of the most famous hauntings in American history. Known as the Bell Witch, the entity was said to have tormented the family with strange noises, physical attacks, and mysterious voices. The haunting began when John Bell, the family patriarch, encountered a strange animal in the fields, after which bizarre phenomena began to plague the household. The Bell Witch made her presence known by speaking to the family and even conversing with visitors. She seemed to have a particular vendetta against John Bell, and in 1820 he died under suspicious circumstances, with many believing the witch had poisoned him. The entity claimed responsibility for his death, and her activities soon ceased, but not before leaving behind a legacy of fear and fascination. The legend of the Bell Witch has inspired books, films, and countless ghost stories. To this day, the area around Adams is said to be haunted by the spirit, and the story remains one of the most compelling tales of the supernatural in rural America. Whether the Bell Witch was a malevolent spirit, a figment of the imagination, or something else entirely, her legend continues to cast a long shadow over the Tennessee countryside. 6. The mystery of the Taos Hum. For decades, residents of the small town of Taos, New Mexico, have reported hearing a strange, low-frequency humming noise, often described as a distant engine running. Known as the Taos Hum, this persistent sound has baffled both locals and scientists alike. What makes the phenomenon particularly eerie is that only a small percentage of the population can hear it, leaving many to wonder if it's an auditory illusion or something more sinister. Despite numerous studies by acoustic experts, geologists, and even the US government, no definitive source for the hum has been identified. Some have speculated that it could be caused by secret military installations, natural earth vibrations, or even mass psychological phenomena. Others have suggested more paranormal explanations, such as alien technology or spiritual forces at play in the quiet desert landscape. The Taos Hum continues to be a source of discomfort for those who hear it, with some residents claiming it disrupts their sleep and causes headaches. The lack of answers only adds to the unease, as the hum seems to defy explanation. Whether it's a natural phenomenon or something more otherworldly, the mystery of the Taos Hum remains one of the most curious unsolved cases in rural New Mexico. 7. The Disappearance of Flight 5428. In 1997, a small charter plane carrying 19 passengers and crew disappeared without a trace over the rugged Andes Mountains in Argentina. The plane, designated Flight 5428, was on a routine flight when it lost contact with air traffic controllers and vanished from radar. Despite an intensive search operation, no wreckage, debris, or bodies were ever found, leaving authorities and the families of the passengers with more questions than answers. As search teams scoured the vast and inhospitable terrain, rumors began to circulate about strange lights seen in the sky the night the plane disappeared. Local villagers reported seeing glowing orbs and unusual aerial activity in the area where the plane was last seen. Some suggested that the flight had encountered something extraterrestrial, while others believed it crashed in a remote and inaccessible part of the mountains. Despite multiple search efforts over the years, no evidence of Flight 5428 has ever been uncovered, and the case remains one of the most baffling aviation mysteries in Argentina's history. The disappearance has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories, with many believing that the plane and its passengers were either hidden by some unknown force or lost in a part of the world that remains beyond human reach. 8. The Bodman Beast. Bodmin Moor, a rugged and remote area in Cornwall, England, has long been the subject of eerie tales and sightings of a mysterious creature known as the Bodman Beast. First reported in the 1980s, the creature is described as a large black cat, similar in appearance to a panther or puma, and has been blamed for killing livestock across the region. The rural and isolated nature of Bodmin Moor has only added to the fear and intrigue surrounding the creature. Over the years, numerous reports have surfaced of farmers finding sheep and other animals dead, often with signs of a large predator. Despite these accounts, authorities have never confirmed the existence of any big cats in the area, and no physical evidence, such as bones or fur, has been found to verify the claims. Some believe the Bodman Beast could be an escaped exotic pet or even a surviving member of a long-extinct species. The legend of the Bodman Beast has become deeply ingrained in local folklore, and the mystery continues to captivate both locals and tourists alike. Whether it's a real creature stalking the moorlands or simply a case of mass hysteria, the Bodman Beast remains an unsolved enigma in the quiet and windswept corners of Cornwall. 9. The Mystery of Hinterkaifeck Farm. In 1922, a small, isolated farmstead in Bavaria, Germany, became the scene of one of the most gruesome and perplexing unsolved murders in history. Known as the Hinterkaifeck murders, 6 members of the Gruber family were brutally murdered with a pickaxe. What made the case especially eerie was the strange events leading up to the murders. The family had reported hearing footsteps in the attic and finding unfamiliar footprints in the snow leading to their home, but none leaving. After the murders, neighbors discovered that someone had been living in the farmhouse for days, feeding the livestock and using the fireplace. Despite this, no one saw or heard anything unusual, and the killer left no clear trace. Extensive investigations were conducted, and numerous suspects were questioned, but no one was ever charged with the crime. To this day, the murders remain unsolved, and the farm itself was demolished in 1923. The case has since become legendary in German criminal history, with numerous theories ranging from a vengeful neighbor to a drifter passing through the area. The combination of the brutal killings and the strange circumstances surrounding them has led to widespread speculation, but the truth behind the Hinterkaifeck murders remains locked in the shadows of history. 10. The Ghost Lights of Marfa. Since the 19th century, mysterious glowing orbs have been seen dancing on the horizon outside the small town of Marfa, Texas. Known as the Marfa Lights, these unexplained phenomena appear in various colors and move erratically across the sky, often disappearing and reappearing without warning. The lights have been witnessed by countless locals and visitors, yet no one has been able to provide a definitive explanation for them. Some scientists have suggested that the lights are caused by atmospheric conditions or reflections from distant car headlights, but this doesn't explain why they were reported long before the advent of automobiles. Other theories range from ball lightning to natural gas emissions, while some believe the lights are of supernatural or extraterrestrial origin. The lights have even inspired annual festivals, attracting those who seek to catch a glimpse of the mysterious phenomenon. Despite decades of observation and study, the Marfa Lights continue to baffle scientists and thrill onlookers. The lack of a concrete explanation only deepens the mystery, and the lights have become a symbol of the unexplained in the vast and quiet landscapes of rural Texas. Whether a natural phenomenon or something more otherworldly, the Marfa Lights remain one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in the American Southwest. And so, we reach the end of this thrilling yet haunting journey through the top 10 unsolved mysteries in rural areas. Each story we've explored serves as a chilling reminder of how the remote corners of our world can hide secrets beyond our understanding. These tales of disappearances, strange phenomena, and unexplained deaths continue to defy logic and keep investigators and locals alike searching for answers. But remember, these mysteries don't end here. They linger in the shadows of your consciousness, waiting to be discovered once again. If you enjoyed this experience and crave more stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to join us on our next adventure into the unknown. Until the next mystery, brave explorers.